Alright guys, just getting comfy. I'm not gonna lie, it's absolutely freezing inside my house. So, I'm just actually sat in bed. Alright, so we're gonna talk about today, and we're talking about, in fact, let me just turn it around maybe this way. It might be a little bit, I don't know. Has to be this way. Alright, so which platforms should we be using? Now, we talked a little bit about avatars yesterday, and this maybe should have come after we've done more about avatars. Hey Riley, how are we doing, mate? Hope you're good. But when we're talking about different platforms on social media, we're talking about different things for different audiences. So, for instance, if you talk about, for instance, Facebook used to be, maybe 10 years ago, maybe even longer. It used to be. Cheers, mate. It used to be for younger people generally. Now the average age now is around about 45 to 50. I can't remember exactly off my head, but it's later. It's a lot older clients. So you may think that Facebook used to be okay. I don't want to target them because they're all kids. Now actually it's not. Or if you're targeting kids, that's maybe where you want to be. Now you have got. We'll quickly run through the different platforms, main platforms. You've got Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, Pinterest, WhatsApp. You can you can advertise on WhatsApp now. You can get WhatsApp groups going. Hey Leanne, how we doing? Nice to see you on. So you've got lots of different platforms you can use. The main thing with choosing a platform is choosing one where your audience is. So, for instance, if even using, for instance, Facebook groups as well is really handy to get in different Facebook groups, because I'm in a Theatre 2 Peninsula group, and I know that when I do my once post a month, I'm targeting just those people. If I'm using Facebook, I know my demographic, who I'm sort of aiming towards, is maybe 35 plus. That's kind of my main demographic. On Instagram, it's a little bit less, a little bit younger. Snapchat, a little bit younger again, although, some of us oldies are sort of getting on there, or older people are getting on there. And then you've got YouTube, which again can be very targeted. Obviously, platforms there. Anyone's goes on YouTube. I have clients who are 20, spend a lot of time on YouTube, and I have clients who are 50 odd, spend lots of time on YouTube. So that's a very, very multi-directional. Lots of different people are on there. The audience is massive. Then you've got other things like Pinterest. If you're targeting, for instance, you're doing bridal boot camps, okay, what do most brides do when they first decide they're going to plan the day, plan the wedding day? A lot of them will start a pin board. So if your target market is, for instance, brides or females, babies, postnatal, prenatal, get on Pinterest, because that's a prime example, prime target market. Your market is there. I don't know many guys that are on Pinterest, but I know lots of females that are on there, and generally they're usually on there for a reason, whether it's redecorating a house, whether it's like I said, weddings, whether it's babies coming. These are just different types of times where they're going to be on there. And I'm just checking to see if you want to write any comments or you want to ask me any questions, please pop it in. Or if you've got a question, I could share the screen with you, and you can ask me a question in person if you like. But yeah, so you need to find your target market. So everyone talks about Facebook, Instagram. They're obviously the largest two, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to particularly use them. LinkedIn is a great way to target. If you're in a CBD, you may want to go on LinkedIn a lot more than you want to go on Instagram. Now, I use Instagram quite a lot. I do really like the platform, but to start with, a lot of my target market wasn't really on there. It is slowly becoming that way, and my target market is there a little bit more. I'm getting leads from Instagram quite regularly now, and for awareness, it's really huge, because I get a lot more views on things there than I do on my Facebook. But again, it's where your audience is. So LinkedIn, prime, if you are targeting in a CBD, if you're targeting businessmen, if you're targeting maybe a slightly higher clientele, you can target if you're doing ads in there. They're a bit more expensive, but you can actually target, say you've got a wellness program, you can actually target HR managers in Auckland using your targeting. So there's lots of ways you can actually use different platforms for different things. And like I spoke about yesterday, you can actually have a different voice, slightly different voice in each medium. So if you're on YouTube, it might be slightly different to a Facebook. It might be slightly different to Instagram. What do you use? Does anyone want to put down in the comments what's the main platform that you use? It'd be interesting to know, because we all do things slightly different. Twitter is obviously very fast moving. Don't spend a lot of time on there. I know a lot of people that do. I know a lot of people that use Snapchat. Snapchat marketing maybe 2 years ago was huge. Lots of people getting, especially if you're online. A lot of people are doing a lot of online stuff there. Riley, Facebook, Instagram, yeah. I think, Facebook's generally the go-to. But you'll notice Facebook now, with the pages, you don't get much of a reach. Your reach is pretty much disappearing. So, if you're looking at Facebook, you need to, maybe use groups. You need to basically pay to play, really, unless you're using your personal profile, which is a lot easier then, because you can get a lot higher reach. So LinkedIn for reaching out to businesses. Yeah, LinkedIn is great for businesses. For instance, I'm trying to get into more businesses doing just wellness talks. So not necessarily doing wellness programs, but going in, talking about nutrition, talking about, stretching at your desk, talking about just getting up and moving. I have 3 main topics that I kind of talk about. I've got some examples and videos of what I've done. And, you can message people on LinkedIn, get straight into the inbox. You can send them a good thing to do. If you are messaging people straight up, DMing them, PMing them, is don't just do a message. Either do a video or do a voice message. It makes a big difference, because most people check it on the phones anyway. So if you're DMing someone in Instagram, or PM someone, whatever you want to call it, in Facebook, use your video. Don't be afraid. People can then see how you're talking, see how you come across, and they can put a name to the face, which straight away it helps massively. They're going to trust you a little bit more already. Snapchat. Okay, Snapchat. Snapchat's a whole one. Geotagging can be quite good. Geotagging, that comes in a lot now. Sharing your Snapchat. Something that personally, you need to choose where you want to be. So this is kind of what we want to get at. You need to choose where you want to be and put your attention in those spots, because like I said, you could be on Tumblr, you could be on Flickr, you could be on Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp groups, you name it. There's so many out there that you can be in. But where's your target market? What are you getting the most from? Where are you getting the most value from? Because if you're not generating leads or creating conversations there, then you're better off not spending your time there. It's like, you can spend your money you can spend all your time learning something, but then it might actually be cheaper or better off for getting someone else to do it for you, because they might do a better job, and your time's better spent maybe training clients. For instance, we have a cleaner that comes to the house once a fortnight. It is about, you're looking at it's cost me $70, but that actually gives us our weekends a bit more. It saves us a bit of time. There's 2 of them that do the cleaning. They come in, whip around. For me, I'd rather train a client and earn $70 for the hour. It's a lot easier than cleaning the house, and something I would much more enjoy. So you want to spend your time where your clients are. So Snapchat's a good one, but unless your target market's there, or people who are on there, it's quite hard to get into. And it's consistency as well, which is the key. So being consistent, always, like I said, stories, you always want to be doing your stories. Posting, like we talked about yesterday, once, twice a day. If it's something that's fast moving, such as Snapchat, such as Instagram stories, Facebook stories, it needs to be really regular and really quick, and it needs to be consistent content, good content. One person, Luke Johnson, who I used to know, did one of his courses. He's a PT, or used to be a PT. He's run a few different companies. He did daily videos in there, but it was Johnson in the Park. So it was basically when he was walking to work, he did like a little TV show every day on the way to work, and it was just him talking about different things. That was a really good way for to be consistent, because it's every time he walked to work in the mornings, he would get his phone out, do some content, really easy, talk about something that maybe come up during the day before, or that he maybe made a note of, and because it's obviously Snapchat, it just turned around really quickly. But people then start to know, like, and trust him, knew that his content was coming out each week and each day, and that really helped. You got any more questions? Kind of the main goal of this one really is just to say, you know, don't worry if you're not everywhere. Don't worry if, Gary Vee is someone that a lot of people listen to and kind of, take a lot from. And, he's all about content, getting content, as much content out as possible everywhere. It's great when you can do that, but it's not always that easy. Repurposing content is actually quite hard, does take a bit of time. But using other people to do it for you can be quite good, which maybe I'll come back on. But yeah, if you've ever used Upwork, it's like an app, or it's a web sort of portal where you can basically hire marketers, hire content people, hire videographers, or hire like video editors. People do websites. You can pretty much hire anything you want. People do articles for you. You can get people to do all sorts there. That's really good. If you've got, for instance, a big long, about 100 videos, send it to someone who knows the fitness industry maybe, and can do video editing. You can hire them on there for maybe $10 an hour. You can hire them really cheap to get that done. So, or I'm actually might be potentially hiring one of my clients' daughters, who's going to do a couple of hours a week, 2-3 hours a week. I'm just going to take a load of photos throughout the sessions, send them to her in a Dropbox. She's going to make them look pretty, send them back, and then upload them. And then after a period of time, I'll probably end up getting her to upload them for me. And that's then generally she'll be my person who's going to do my sort of social media, or some of it anyway. Gone on enough there, guys. But if you do have any questions, pop them below. The main thing is be where your audience is. We'll talk about avatars tomorrow, and we'll maybe try and do it on a whiteboard. But find your avatar, be where they are. Find out, ask your clients where they hang out. Like it said, you'll be surprised who hangs out where. I've got a guy who's in his 50s, and he doesn't watch TV, just watches YouTube videos. Then I've got a client who is a mum. She's got a really good job. She's doing heaps, really busy, but she spends lots of times on Instagram. And she even said that a partner has told her, you're always on your phone. And she said, I'd rather look at my phone than watch the sport or whatever he was watching at the time. So you got to find out where they are, and then try and position yourself in that community and that platform. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Again, questions below. Hope you're enjoying these. Anything you want me to talk about, let me know. If you feel free. If I was thinking, I might make a different post actually, but I was thinking maybe doing like a one-on-one chat with people on here. If someone has some questions they want to ask and they want to jump on, you can actually share your screen, share the screen, and two of you can kind of do like an interview. And if you've got any questions that you might need help on, I'd be happy to try and help them. I haven't got all the answers. I don't pretend that I have, but I can definitely give you my experience, or my whatever advice I would give myself or someone else. All right, guys. Cheers. Thanks for being on. Cheers, Riley and Leanne. I'll catch you soon.